Welcome to the channel. Even though we have had the entire pet system available for some time, many people are still highly interested in how to do it. So in this episode I will focus mainly on methodology, revealing to you the most efficient way to create pets. So let's start with the absolute basics, acquiring contracts. It is worth noting that pets, with some exceptions, have very random nature. Therefore, buying 3 contracts from the shop per week is definitely not enough. You need to focus on playing activities that almost guarantee you the greatest chance of dropping additional contracts. In my case, it is a coursed tower because, as they describe, contracts can be obtained from elite mobs and bosses, and as we know, the tower is full of elites, which results in higher chances. And because the more contracts you obtain, the more spirit essences you need for leveling up familiar. So our coursed tower is the perfect solution to get both. So you should level up every pet you draw from the contract, because each one is actually useful. So if you already know how to effectively obtain contracts, now I will show you what to do with summoned pets. Basically, at the stage of drawing pets, we can simplify it to 4 results. The first worst, the one that has no attribute above 170, and also does not have any rare passive skill. However, such pet will serve as fuel for conversion. It is worth mentioning that it is also the cheapest type of pet. If you would like to buy it on the market, another variant is a very similar pet. The difference is that it has at least 1 rare skill. Of course, the more rare passive skills, the better. This type of pet is used to obtain conversion stone, which, believe me, you really want to have, but I will get to that later in the video. The third case is the most questionable for me. This case applies to rare attributes greater than 120 and less than 170, because this level of attributes already unlocks the traits that work for our character. However, these bonuses are so low that I doubt whether it is worth unlocking them at all. So here I leave the choice to you. If you decide it's not worth it, just do the same as in the first 2 cases. And the 4th case, the one you should care about the most. A pet that has at least 1 attribute above 170 immediately after being summoned. However, it does not mean that this pet is extraordinary and should be used. You simply have a pet from which you can transfer attributes to your main pet. You will learn how to do it later in the video. With all that being said, ordinary familiars are only a means to achieve the main pet, so the next step is pet convert. So you are using pets from the first case. You need 3 to convert them, and to put it simply, it is another chance for this pet to become useful. When it comes to the convert option itself, you need to remember that each selected pet of a different type has a 33% chance that a pet of this type will be created, and by stacking the same passive skills, you also increase the chances of their presence in the new pet. So as a result of converting regular pets, we should expect the first 3 cases are the same as in the case of summoning from a contract. In the worst case, you will get fuel again for further converts, a bit better if you can get stones from rare passives. But the real reason why we want to convert is the 30% chance of getting aberrant. So if you end up with any pet with this purple badge, you are on the right way of making strong pet. And here its rarity and type do not matter much. Of course, the better it is, the better, but I will show you a simple way to significantly improve it. To sum up, ordinary familiars are just fuel for creating proper pets, unless you are lucky to get legendary attributes. Because basically, it's all about creating aberrants and aberrant conversion, which is slightly different from ordinary conversion. In the case of aberrant familiars, the most important are passive skills and traits. Attributes are not as important. So, as in the case of ordinary convert, an aberrant with mainly blue passives should serve as fuel. And here, unlike ordinary, I do not recommend ending the pact for stones. This is, in my humble opinion, unprofitable. It is very likely that you do not have any aberrant better than what I described as fuel. Nevertheless, after collecting 3 of them, use the conversion stone. This way you will gain a base that will have at least 1 legendary passive skill. Conversion stones also prevent you from losing any rarities on your familiar while converting, so you can be sure that the quality of both attributes and passive skills will not be worse. However, it is worth noting here that the game does not automatically select the best things from 3 different pets. Only the traits and attributes of the pet that has the largest number of rare or legendary passive skills count. So even though the Varag in this example has better attributes, but they have not been preserved, and the converted pet eventually received worse attributes. This is a mistake that unfortunately happened to me, and that's how I lost a pet with a legendary attribute, so keep it in mind. If Dusk Prowler would be considered the best, then his rare passives should be highlighted here. I didn't notice it. And it was an easy way to lose legendary attributes. But let's go back to the point where you already have at least 3 aberrants to convert. As I mentioned earlier, it is always worth doing this transformation together with conversion stones. The key thing is that it won't get worse, and with a little bit of luck, each subsequent transformation gives you a chance to improve your pet. Remember here, rarity of each element is guaranteed, but everything is randomly rerolled. You can increase the chances of specific components such as race or passives by staking them, but I don't think many of you can afford to burn pets with legendary passives. As you can see, I used the same base pet over and over again until I got decent passive skills. If I wanted to keep rolling, maintaining to legendary passives would cost 8 conversion stones, 3 legendary 30 stones, and so on. That's why at the beginning of this video, I recommended collecting them if possible. I also mentioned that you shouldn't pay attention to attributes, because as soon as your base aberrant is enough for you, you can transfer stats from a normal pet of the same race. Again, to simplify it, I think that ordinary familiars should be used to draw legendary attributes, and aberrant should be rolled to obtain passive skills and traits. This separation of individual pet elements will make it easier to obtain legendary ones, and only such elements really matter. They unlock an additional bonus to passives and activate legendary traits. There's a lot more that could be said about it, but this episode is about methodology. Traits and passive skills deserve separate discussion in another episode. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date. As always, thanks for watching.